All right, so update on the P47. Here it is. As you can see, it's looking more and more put together, right? I'll show you guys a little bit more of what I've done in a second, but just quick update. I've just kind of attached the motor mount back. I've used a lot of hot glue and pieces of foam from old planes and stuff like that, just cut up, sticked around there, and then hot glued the whole mount together. I don't see the motor coming out, right? But yeah, we'll see. I think I got the motor angle correct, right? Down and right, so it should be good to go. But overall, I feel like I'm getting places with it. I kind of just been working on it for an hour. I really should be working on my bigger projects, but man, like I said the other day, I really enjoy like messing around with this stuff. So let me show you real quick what I'm working with. All right, so check it out. So far, there as you can see the motor. It's got its down and right type angle, right? You kind of see it there, right? It's down and right a little bit. And then other than that, I've used a hot glue gun to seam it up. I have used, like I said, a little Gorilla Glue here and there. My seams are there. This seam's been fixed. Everything here so far has been fixed. As you can see, the motor mount itself is not perfect. There is a lot of hot glue in there, and I'm still gonna fill in some more areas with some more hot glue just to make sure I'm good to go. But overall, I don't think that motor is gonna go anywhere. I am gonna fill in the bottom here a little bit with another piece of foam that I got laying around. Honestly, I don't even know why I'm gonna do that, because this mount's not gonna go anywhere. I did a few little tricks there, and then other than that, the rest of the fuses is glued. I did all the little things up here. A lot of it's got to get sanded down now, and then after I sand it down, basically just start puttying, sanding, puttying, sanding, puttying, sanding. It's gonna be a process, right? And then she should be good to go. But other than that, like, I mean, everything else looks pretty good. Seams up here look fine, you know. This looks good to go right here. My gap right here, my gap right here. So everything looks good. So nose put together. I'm gonna work a little bit more on that motor mount just to make it look a little bit better. But I'm happy so far. It ain't gonna go anywhere. So anyways, that's the update on the P47. Stay tuned. I will continue to hammer this little project out, and we'll see how it comes out. Anyways, live your happy life. Out. All right, so far, I'm starting to work on the body work on the front. I'm gonna do it by sections. So I'm gonna do this half. I've already worked on a little bit on the other half, and I'll show some videos. First, I'm just sanding everything down and kind of smoothing everything to be about the same length. I'm using a 220 grit on all of this. I haven't even worked on the wing yet, but I'm trying to just get the fuse right and then put it off to the side once it's primered up and stuff. So it'll be a couple days a step. I'm gonna work on a little bit more, but this week I am gonna start working on the P47, the other one. I gotta kind of work on other projects. So this one is just a little bit here, a little bit there. So far it's coming out pretty good though. Tested the motor out today. Motor's perfect. Nothing's wrong with the motor. The ESC is the only thing that's bad. So I'm good to go there. I'm gonna get an 80 ampere, drop that in there, and we'll be good to go. I haven't started working on the cowl yet, but just a little bit at a time. Should start looking pretty good. I'll start showing pictures. This is like probably the worst side, and then obviously the bottom, but as I get through it, I will start posting pictures of how it's starting to look throughout the videos, okay? So this is basically just me going through right now, sanding, making everything smooth where I've glued and stuff, right, my surfaces. And now we're gonna start a little bit of putting, and then I got some hard Mod Podge, and I'll show how I do that after I've covered the big gaps. This thing's probably gonna get a big coat of plastic dip afterwards. I normally don't paint a lot of plastic dip. I use a lot of the Bare Ultra stuff. But this one, I'm gonna plastic dip it that OD green, because plastic dip tends to cover up. Now it will take away a little bit from these added, you know, panel lines, but it'll cover up a lot of the nonsense that I'm gonna end up having to do to make this thing look good. So anyway, stay tuned. I'll keep doing posts. I'll just keep updating posts, but I'll show right now after I'm done sanding this down and everything after I've putted it up. But it's coming along. It's coming along. It's gonna be a long process, but it's coming along. One more thing is these holes, because there was holes here. I fill them with a little bit of foam from pieces that I have laying around. And then what I'll end up doing, right, is I just fill it up with hot glue. And then I'll just putty above it. Just little tricks. Everybody does it different. No way's perfect. No way's better. Just different. Anyways, I do happy life. Out. All right, so far, what do we have left to do? The fuse is basically done. I'll show you guys a little update on that later. But here's the wings. So far, I've glued them all together. This is the real bad one, right? Everything's basically good to go there. It had some prior damage on the gear, so I fixed that up with some thin CA just to get into the crack, right? The rest of it, I used, like I said, the glue that comes in motion. And now it's just putty. I use the lightweight stuff from the dollar store. It's the best stuff, guys. It really is. This dollar store stuff, this is the best. Does a good job. So the wings are basically, all I'm gonna do now is sand them, primer them, and then possibly another sanding, another round of putty. But for the most part, right, see the bottom here? I've left that servo out because I need that hole to run all my wires and then pull them back if I need to. I didn't really do too much fixing there. I fixed one side, the other side didn't look too bad. I'm gonna give it a little sanding and then just throw paint on it. It's at the bottom anyways, and this is gonna go like a gray where it's gonna be matte and you won't see a lot of the imperfections. But I'm still gonna fix all the cracks like I have right there, right? So I sand all that down and then I throw some putty on it. Once I'm done, I'll do a little bit of that hardening Mod Podge, right? And then I'll sand over that right before I paint. So anyways, this is how we're looking so far. Everything, you can see the crack in there, right? And I threw some some thin CA through there too, just to get that strengthened out. So this one's good to go. As far as the other one's concerned, we got the same thing going on here, right? Just kind of fixing all the little misimperfections. I did the same thing here because there's a little stress crack there. Other than that, I've taken all the decals off. You guys are gonna be impressed with the decals that I chose. I'm picking a scheme. That one after it sands, I gotta sand it again and then fix that little corner there. But other than that, this wing didn't take too much damage, so it's basically good to go. So one of the things I'm doing is the scheme is going to be like it's called the bug, but it's real busy. So because of the busyness, you won't see all the the imperfections. So anyways, let's continue on. I'll show you guys the fuse now and we'll keep going. All right, so let's start looking at the fuse real quick. I just said I would show it, right? So I threw a little bit of Plasti Dip on it just to see how much coverage I would need. Now remember, this part here, this is covered by the exhaust stack, so I'm not worried about that. That hole belongs there. And as you can see here, right, this is the bottom. And though you see imperfections here, right, and you see this right here, I don't know if the picture I just posted of the bug, right, it has a mouth that goes up around here and back down around here, right? Did that on purpose, right? Because most of the damage on this thing took on the bottom. Now, I don't want to be sitting here attempting to correct every little thing on this thing, left and right, right? So that's kind of what I'm doing. Now, mind you, this is like a real light coat of Plasti Dip. I wanted to see how much it would cover before I continued on. Bad thing about Plasti Dip is once you throw it on there, sanding Plasti Dip is not easy. It'll gum up. Right, so before you do this, make sure you're a little bit further on than I was. So now, for the most part, luckily the scheme that I picked, eyes go here, there's stickers here, there's stickers that go across here. So what it's gonna do is it's gonna make this nose very busy. So you'll be able to hide. One of the things when you're repairing a plane that took pretty good damage like this one, right, is that when you pick the scheme that you're gonna do, pick something that's busy. Especially it's busy in certain areas where you know, right? It's going to cover up some of the nonsense that might have happened. A lot of your crashes obviously are in the front, right? So if you pick a nose, especially with these warbirds, there's possibly like, you know, some sort of shark mouth, right? Like, so if you guys see this guy here, when I fix this guy up, right? I picked that nose, right? Well, some of the damage was over here more, right? On the side, but it took damage in the front. So what I do, I picked the scheme, right, that was busy. And with that scheme, by picking a scheme that's busy, you take the eyes away from the baloney that's going on with the rest of the aircraft. Now, the other thing to do is, I know a lot of folks like that glossy, shiny look, but if you pick a matte color, right, that's why, like, this is a little shiny. The color I'm going with is a very matte type color. And if you go with a matte color, what that does for you is it also hides. That's like when you're at work at a repair shop, right? When you primer up, a lot of times they'll put water on it and see, you know, how it would look after it gets to shine. Because that's when all your imperfections, your waviness, all that stuff on the panel lines comes up, right? I worked a little bit at a body shop. I'm not as good as Mr. Eric Quinn, but, you know, I know enough to get myself in trouble. Now, this side is pretty good. Obviously, there's an issue right here, but right here is where the bug sticker goes. This is where you're going to put where it says the bug. So that, yet again, is going to be another place where I'm hiding stuff, right? Your mouth is going to come up here. Your eyes are going to go right here. So it's something that I've pre-planned to ensure that when this thing gets painted and it's all said and done, I've added a bunch of details, right? You won't see the imperfections. On top of that, where the exhaust stacks go, I'm going to do the little exhaust smoke, right? I'm not going to go crazy on the weathering. But so far, so good. This is where we're at with the fuse, right? So we got all these little panel lines taken care of. I did start taking care of some of the stuff back here, which I will do up here too. I got to throw some. Matter of fact, I'll do that now. And overall, right, I got to do a little bit of work on the canopy right there. But for the most part, it's coming along. So what I'll do next is finish up putting, and then hopefully this week I get a little better weather out here, and I'll start doing the paint. I'm hoping that by next week have it done. I'm going to order the decals from Cali Graphics this week, and I'll have that coming in here soon, and we'll continue to discuss this awesome ongoing project of the FMS P47. You know, it was unfortunate hitting another plane because, man, do I like this thing. Anyways, I got another one coming here. Next, a balsa one. You guys see the unboxing there on Mr. Noon's Airborne RC channel. We did an unboxing together. So that's my next project. I'm going to start on that this week while working on this thing. So it's like P47 week here at LJ Hobby Life. Anyway, stay tuned for the rest of this bad boy right here. All right, ladies and gentlemen, another day, another update, right? So far I've taken care of the top here. I'm letting it dry real good. It's kind of cold here in Arizona right now. It's really cold, actually. It's in the 20s right now. I know some of you guys in the north are going to be like, oh, that's nothing. But, man, for us down here, serious. And right here, check it out. Bam, this is the bad wing, right? You guys seen it in the first video? That's your crease. Everything feels pretty smooth. I'm going to sand it off and with a little 400, and then she'll be ready for paint. I don't think we'll have much issues there. So we're going to go ahead and do that. I already got the decals ordered, so we should be good to go there. And yeah, we're cooking with Crisco right now, right? So just a quick update on the wings. I still got it at the bottom. And then I did my little coat of Mod Podge, hard coat, whatever that word is, you know. But anyways, this stuff is pretty good. It gives it a little hard coat on the outside, right? So we'll see how that works. But after this, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna sand it down a little bit, and then min wax the whole fuse. This min wax both sides, and then we'll start throwing our paints, and then we'll do an update on that. So this will probably be the last one for this part 2, and then we'll get into the next part, which is gonna be the paint part. But yeah, so you're gonna putty, and then I do that Mod Podge, and basically just take your time with it, you know, sand and putty and sand and putty. But all right, LJ Hobby Life.